for a motion to approve the agenda.
Greg will make a motion.
Thanks, Ted. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Zach. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Visitor comments? See anybody?
Tonight, special recognitions and honors, Mr. Chair, I've got Amber Evenson. If people don't know, there's a new Palmer Bus office coordinator she picked up for Connie. Connie Spring was absolutely phenomenal, and so it was devastating to see her leave, but it was a major loss for us, but Amber stepped in and done a phenomenal job, been great. Tammy Williams Quiggle, that's a name you all obviously know a lot, but what you probably don't know is that, boy, she stepped in to help out when Trevor got sick this fall, picked up kids in her caseload, been doing a tremendous job, and she's the foundation of our special ed program. If you don't know, Dave Moll came in early October and stepped in for Trevor when he became ill, and he's done just a tremendous job, and basically he's been Trevor full-time. We're gonna work our way to get to the end of this week, and Dave's supposed to be the ace out of the bullpen, and he's been a starter. We're gonna try to get him back in the bullpen, but he's done a phenomenal job. Suffice to say, Mr. Bennis,
Yeah,
just
that's
amazing.
a tough spot to be in, cause he's got some of the, kids that need the most help.
And then I wanna thank Audrey Fry, the before and school after programs, especially in the dire need for care before school and after school. She's been a steady hand that's facilitate that, and those numbers will only continue to grow. So we wanna recognize those four, and for all of our Laker employees, but specifically those four.
Okay, sounds good. On behalf of the board, thank Amber, Tammy, Dave, and Audrey. All right, we are looking for an approval of the minutes for the following meetings. This is November 21st and December 12th.
Greg will make a motion.
Thanks, Ted. Give me a second. Thank you, Jeff. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Monthly financial reports.
Drew, you wanna walk us through a quick walkthrough of our financials?
So yeah, here, this is the summary of the bills that we are going to be writing tomorrow, any bills that have been written since the last board meeting also. So starting off, looking through the bills that we're gonna be, paying tomorrow, there isn't really anything significant or sort of, unusual. I did note the one for $5,500 to General Parts LLC. That's for some food service equipment repairs. All the invoices are over there if anybody wants to take a look at anything or get a better idea. Also the Mintex Citrus, that is for the FFA Fruits fundraiser.
I'd share too, I wanna look at, number 25, journal entry 25, that's Johnson Controls. I just want people to know that even though we're not in a maintenance contract with Johnson Controls, they still run our major chillers, cause they're the only experts that can actually, on the type of chiller we do have, that's, one of their products. So we do need them to service it, but I wanted to share that with you, so you're aware of it. We do work a lot with Johnson Controls.
So yeah, paging down here, I wanna get to the interims here, if you go to the next page, these are the checks that we've written since the last board meeting. The number 24, the one to farm right equipment, that was for the big, snow removal, skid steer.
Yeah.
So that, we got that in time for snowfall to come around this winter.
Good deal is that it's already on the contractor rates, so we get it cheaper than anybody can buy it for, cause it's on the government
There was
contract.
a lot of research and stuff, a lot of shopping around, going
I
into
know that
it.
our facilities committee, Ted, Jeff, and I think, our board chair put a lot of time in that, so I wanna thank them for that.
Usually when snow removal equipment is bought, it's never needed for a while. But
It's been used a lot.
that was the plan.
A lot of winter left.
Every year we'll buy one.
Every year.
Going down a little bit further, the Midwest Machinery, this is the gator that we also got. We had a couple gators that were on their last leg that limped through the fall. So this was another purchase, that was made at the beginning of December.
Also, I think there's a lawn tractor so we have a skid steer out here, but we really had nothing over, it was a push, snowboard. So we, you know, there really was not much over there, so we bought a lawnmower for the elementary school, so it's got a cab with a blower and a brush, so I don't know if that's.
Is that, I mean.
It might be
yeah.
later, but I wanna let everyone know that skid steer covers this grounds, and then we bought something over there, cause right now we had one push snowboard, that was it, and some shovels. So that's been also used a lot too.
Yeah, going down here, pretty much everything is just sort of regular monthly bills. The other one that I had noted here is the Wilmer Electric for $13,700. That's for work that they're doing in the auditorium right now. That's the electrical work that wasn't included in the quote, from, I can't think what the company is that's doing the replacement over there. But, Wilmer Electric is doing the, wiring and electrical side of it.
Okay.
So tonight we split this out, so I'm looking for a motion.
Yeah, looking for a motion to approve the, bills.
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Angie. Second? Anyone?
I'll second.
Thank you, Zach. All those in favor?
Aye.
I need to abstain, but motion carries. All right, superintendent's report. Keep it brief, I got a record to break.
Loading. Come on, gotta get them squirrels working down there. I just thought I'd share with the board and everybody in the community, I thought that, the wake and the, sorry. Yeah, well, I thought I'd just share, I thought that the wake and the funeral held here at school was, really well done. I thought, there was a lot of appreciation. We had the lights on the football field, and I thought it was a great tribute to Trevor. And I think it provided a lot of comfort for, his family and Keisha's family and our boys, so I just thought it went really well. I don't know if you had any feedback, but I thought it was a great event.
I don't think there would've been a better venue to actually do it in, just with the amount of people that were here on Friday when I came out for the visitation.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an awesome showing out here for them.
Looks great, boards looked great with the slideshow, school.
Can I add something, Chip? I've spoke to athletic directors already, just in passing, things like that, and they have said what you guys did for the family and what you put together was absolutely fantastic, so.
I watched online and that was actually a nice, easy to see and watch and still experience the videos and
Sure.
could hear well too, so it was great, even if you couldn't be there, it was still.
I think for everybody in the community, it's really important to know, so, the family contacted us, and, you know, you look at Polk County was the only logical place to have that large of gathering, and this is a public school for, public use, and we thought it was a very appropriate use, and I know that there'd be mixed feelings about having a wake and a funeral in a public gym, but, you know, the reality is that in a time of need, this is the third funeral that's been held in that gym. Yeah, we're here to support our community any way possible, so.
Yeah.
I thought the board, thanks to the board and all of our school people to make this all work, so. We had a board work session on the 12th, just to recap, we were looking at, we'll take action on that tonight, or there's an action item for you to consider. Thanks for everyone's attendance, I thought it was well attended, I think it was a good information session. Upcoming meeting dates, of course, tonight we had a little personnel committee, meeting before. There'll be some shifting around, in our buildings and grounds crew. And then, we discussed the plan that, I talked to Principal, Meisner about with, the passing of Trevor, how we're gonna cover that the rest of the year, so we have that plan. So move forward with that. We also hired a payroll gal that you'll be proving tonight, so that's a great ad because she's coming with 22 years of experience and 2 years in school finance in our neighboring district. We have a regular board meeting. Here's just the agenda you're gonna be scooting through. So tonight we'll be looking at the, referendum. The levy, we'll be approving that tonight. Tonight, there's an action, like I mentioned, for expansion of early childhood, so we'll be covering that. Here's our new hires, cover through that tonight. Here's our resignations. It's very unfortunate, you know, we have Ted that's gonna be hanging up spikes this spring, or after this, you know, after coaching for many years for us. And And we lost some really good, Caleb Green, great volleyball coach and professionals. We did let one employee go, just went a different direction. There's a social night following the board meeting, Lakeside for everybody. And then I put an organizational meeting will be on, January 9th at 3:30. So that's the organizational meeting. I put some minutes on there. I know that Mr. Barsness has expressed desire to continue on as our chair. I asked Ted if he'd be willing to be our vice chair, and Angie if you would be willing to stay on as our clerk. I know you travel a lot, Justin. Zach, you're gonna learn year 3 on the board, and we'll be getting Amanda Ogdahl back on the board. And Jeff, I think that you're kinda not looking to do a lot. You don't really wanna be the board chair the last year or 2.
No, it's good to.
Until we
No,
get
it's
on you
fine.
into running one more term. So we're working on that, and there's some new committee assignments you've heard to look at. We moved it around, Andrew brought you to facilities, cause if we do something, next year, you're gonna play a critical role in that. And then, I sent the calendar out to the teachers to do some work over, Christmas break, as we'll bring a 23-24 school calendar. Flex year, we'd have to get approval to even start before Labor Day, it's still late. And then there's normal, so we work through that. And then, probably late January, we need to put a bid out for transportation, as our bus contract's coming to an end, so. That suffices for my, superintendent's report.
Okay.
Investment report, no change, just a little extra interest, cause interest rates are up, but no change there. Food service, I would only share that, you're gonna probably start getting, nobody here get a phone call, but, if you have debt, you're gonna start getting phone calls again, because, we charge for lunches, so we went through that. Revenue expenditure, that really doesn't mean anything for another probably 3 months, cause we get our revenues in, that's why you have reserve, cause sometimes there's disruptions, and we'll get our revenue, and we'll spend it. So and then we have some donations, so tonight, you'll be approving the following resolution to approve. And you see, we had a lot of donations for Win Holiday Meal. I would report tonight that we're at 32,500 in scoreboard sponsorships. As of 2 weeks ago, that number's probably under, but right now we'd be at 32.5.
Do we have a goal?
I thought our goal this year would be honestly, if we get to 35,000. The other thing is, those are all prorated amounts, so if we would actually have the full amount, would be more like 50,000, so there's a good chance we can hit the $50,000 to $60,000 mark per year. You start thinking about that, those scoreboards will be paid off in 2.5 years. And then the lifetime is like 15 years. We could in theory make $300,000 to $400,000, $500,000 with those scoreboards going on in time. And they're working pretty well.
Yeah.
Except now we can't go back, we have to always have that. When
Gotta
life
get
expect-
bigger.
That's when, how we like it when everybody likes it.
Gonna hang it from the middle.
So tonight, Mr. Chair, we're looking at, accepting $19,990.25.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the donations.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Zach. Can I get a second? Second, Jeff. Sounds good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right,
Uh,
levy.
Tonight, I recommend the board, authorize the max levy of $4,352,943.09. It's a roll call vote. And I recommend it be adopted.
I will make the motion to approve the max. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ted. All right, roll call vote. Parsons is absent. Savaggio, yes. T. Reichman.
Yes.
Holper.
Yes.
Angie Reichman.
Yes.
Legred.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 11, Mr. Chair, I'm just looking at directing me to get bids for our preschool programming, discussed at the work session. Bids would be, repurposing that cafeteria down there, and then we'd look at, liquidating everything that's in there, and then, some paint and carpet in the other areas, with the goal of offering all-day, everyday preschool starting, the fall of 23-24 in both Starbuck and Glenwood. I would be remiss if I didn't mention, we took a tour. There's been multiple fire doors, there's been a lot of changes at Wynn that make it, basically we're sitting on about 2,500 to 3,000, if not plus square feet that we're underutilized again. What I did get a notice this last week, and some teachers confirmed it, but, our local daycare provider is going to close their doors on June first. And we have people desperate looking for all day every preschool, and our goal would be to offer wraparound care. So I'm just looking at, I didn't put a dollar figure on there, just looking to take permission to go get bids, with the understanding that we're gonna heavily and actively pursue it, and we'll start doing the collaboration.
Sounds good. Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you both. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent calendar.
You can see, we got some new hires. Everything's in the budget, and we're still actually short-staffed. I would point out number 4, Angie Van Zee, applied, and we interviewed her to be the Laker Foundation shared, communications clerk. And that'll be a $10,000 stipend, 5 from the district and 5 from the Laker Foundation. So you can see that, we got some couple resignations, like I mentioned earlier, my board report, and we're gonna go a different direction with one employee, so that's the consent calendar.
Okay. Looking for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
D-Rag will make the motion.
Thank you, Ted. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Zach. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Second reading, consideration of proposed school policies. Angie, assuming you read these?
Yeah, so these all went to the committee in November, they came for the first reading in November, and now this is the second reading, and, if you guys approve, they'll have today's adoption date.
There's not a policy here that wasn't given to us by MSBA attorneys, so.
All right, looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Jeff. Second?
I'll second.
Angie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Announcements.
The only announcement I got, there's a board social that follows tonight, if you have a chance to make it, I've authorized, I'll just say, I can just say for Thursday, cause there's a lot of people talking to me about weather. Last week was rough, but I did share with the staff that we are not looking at going to e-learning on Thursday. I think e-learning is a very precious tool. We get a total of 5, and I think we've used 2, and I think we've also, I don't know, I'm happy my 4 kids are still, well, my 4, I'm glad my 4th, cause even my college kid was home, and, e-learning has, you can do so much of it, and so I think the other thing is we're not looking at sending all of our devices home, to our young kids over the entire break. We don't have insurance on those devices, parents don't pay insurance on those devices. And so I would say on Thursday, what I did notice on a webinar, it looks like we could get, 2 to 6 inches of snow, but it's supposed to be 45 below wind chills and 30 to 40 mile winds. If the event there had to be something on Thursday, just for the board, I am looking at, we would just close school. And I said, hey, we have a staff development day coming up on March 17th. This would now become a student contact day. But we can make that decision at the end of February, because, what really it comes down to is you need 1,006 hours, I think I put in there. State statute, whatever it is, I looked it up again. We are close, but you could forgive a day. You could possibly give 2 days, possibly. But we'll know, we'll be a lot smarter.
Let's hope it gets nicer
Yeah.
this winter.
So that's kinda what I'm thinking for Thursday. And plus, it's a lot. There's so many activities going on this week, after last week. The last thing I wanna do is just burn our staff out trying to plan
Well,
for
and
it.
it's the day before a longer
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Be done.
So I
That
thought I'd
sounds
share
good.
that, if that's kinda the direction I'm going. Feedback, okay with
It
that?
certainly would be a nice little Christmas present to your students, they would probably appreciate.
Oh, trust me, they heard about it in the lobby, they were already
They're
trying to.
praying for snow.
There was a GoFundMe to get Chip to cancel school that Thursday. I said, I don't go cheap.
Is there a chance for an extension of e-learning days? Like if we get
Can you get more
5,
than 5?
can we get more than 5 if we put in a bid, or?
Does the state look at that, be like, wow, this has been a miserable winter, we can
I don't-
petition?
Yeah.
As far as I know,
Okay.
nobody even knows that we're on e-learning. He takes attendance. The digital world that we live in has no idea if he's taking attendance from the golf course, or if he's taking attendance in his, C-wing room. It's what you'd wanna make it. And so I think there's a lot of
flexibility. Okay,
Good way to put it.
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so you got school board meetings, January 9th and
January
January
9th.
twenty-third.
Talk to the board chair if you want a different committee assignment, or if you want instant for the board chair.
All right. Sounds like there's a lot of takers. Go ahead. All right.
I would announce that, our next board meeting is January 23rd. Just realize we're gonna be at Wynn, to get a full tour of it.
Okay.
The real actual program, and we're gonna be making stops at Wynn, then the elementary, and then we'll get the high school. But, the last work session really was intended, just to go down the basement, so we're gonna be back at Wynn.
Okay, sounds good. Looking for a motion to adjourn at 7:20 for a new record. Come on, don't make it be 7:21.
I'll make the motion.
Thanks, Seth. Take a second.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Ted. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Oh.